Hey, it's Doris with All the Books, and Shawn and I are here with our next installment of the Faber Story series. This is Sylvia Plath's Mary Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom. So I think instead of the typical introduction that I've been doing, I will read the little introduction in the book. It's a page and a bit, and it's really neat. This is the first one of these Faber short stories that's had one of these introductions that I recall. And I think it's because this is a newly discovered text. I was looking into it online and noticed a lot of articles about it. So apparently this is pretty big deal. And honestly, I don't think Sylvia Plath needs much of an introduction in the literary world. I will say that I have always wanted to read The Bell Jar because it was my best friend in high school. It was her favorite book. I think it still is her favorite. And I really like to read books that are favorites of special people to me. So I need to get to that, definitely. But here is the really short introduction. Mary Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom was written by Sylvia Plath in 1952 when she was a student at Smith College. As a college student, so cool. That was my introduction, if you didn't know. The real-life Mary Ventura was one of Plath's high school friends. Plath had written an earlier story about her as part of a creative writing assignment in her second year at Smith. That story, largely autobiographical, concerned a pair of old school friends who meet during the holidays and shared nothing with this one except Ventura's name. In December of 1952, she finished writing this story, a vague symbolic tale in her own description, air quotes, for real in the book quotes, and submitted it for publication to Mademoiselle magazine, whose writing prize she had recently won. It was rejected. Almost 2 years later, Plath revised the story, changing its title to Marcia Ventura and the Ninth Kingdom, making it less sinister, then curtailing it so significantly as to make it appear half-finished. The version used here is the original, rejected work. The richest, and in Faber's view, the best. This is its first publication. All original spellings have been retained. I think that's really cool. So yeah, the thing I zeroed in on was sinister. So apparently this has some sinister vibes. I have read the first 15 pages. I couldn't stop. So it's not that it's really compelling or engrossing or mesmerizing exactly. It's just that it's so smooth and rapid fire. So you've got this girl boarding a train. Her parents are putting her on the train. She's going off to like her first big life adventure. We don't know what that is really. Her parents seem a little disconnected from her, but yeah, she just gets on the train. She meets this woman that sits next to her, but it's just one thing after another, just boom, 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 boom. And it's just got this fast-paced feel like you're on a train going somewhere and, you know, one scene jumps to another. The dialogue is very smooth. There was just one paragraph on page 10 that felt a little clunky to me. But yeah, overall just very smooth dialogue, very smooth transitions, very descriptive settings that you immediately see the scene around you. So I really liked the style of the writing thus far. But I kept turning the pages because I wanted the sinister to start. So like, what is so sinister about this book? I'm here for that. Thus far, I don't know. You know, there was a scarecrow. There was the weird flat orange sun with, you know, the fire in the background. There was this abandoned house that was really, an abandoned train station. There were the three guys that looked alike at the end, things like that. But I didn't really notice anything that was like, ooh, yet. So I'm curious. And I was actually delighted that a tow-headed child was mentioned. I think I've mentioned that before on my channel. Maybe you've done an Other Words episode on that, Shawn. Have you on tow-headed child? I can't remember. Anyway, really curious to hear what you think, because I know that you had a few trepidations about maybe it being a genre writing that you don't really care for, but yeah, so far I am curious, definitely curious, and definitely appreciating the rhythm of the writing. So what do you think?
Hey Doris, well, I'm standing on a street near Nakano Station in Tokyo, and just thought this fabulous backdrop of the cherry blossoms, or the fainter colored blossoms, and I think the dark pink might be, I think the dark pink tree is a plum tree, but I'm not really sure. I'm pretty stupid about that kind of stuff. But hello. So I read the first 15 pages too, and I am quite intrigued too. It does feel sinister, but I can't put my finger on why. I would say, in addition to the factors that you cited, the children, the one being the tow-headed boy. No, I'm not familiar with that phrase. I looked it up. But those two bratty boys, and their mother was reading the magazine and she never disciplined them, and that is not typically sinister, but it struck me as being sinister. Even before that, the parents seemed weird. The protagonist's parents, like, what was that about? And that the paper boy shouts the headline, 10,000 arrested. And then the mother immediately says, oh, there's nothing wrong, just get on the train. Like, ooh, there's something weird. And her seatmate, there's something wrong with her too. She's very nice in a kind of a sinister way. So I don't know where it's going, but I'm really intrigued. The writing is lively and fun and dark, but yet if you point to any of these little things that have happened in the story so far in isolation, I think the only one that is just by any standard ominous was the headline that paperboy shouted, or the newsstand guy. 10,000 apprehended, or 10,000 arrested. What's going on in the world? And where is this Mary Ventura going? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you thought of the ending and reading the ending myself too.
Hey Shawn, I enjoyed your cherry blossoms in Japan, in the big city, so I thought I would show you mine here in the country out in Tennessee. And I also have a red bud, and I think that's a crabapple in my backyard. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up that sinister newspaper article with the 10,000. Yeah, I was way engrossed in that too. I thought that was a neat, I would actually like to hear more about that, but you know, this is a short little story, so how much can you say in these few little pages? But yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought it was highly entertaining. I don't want to say too much because it's one of those books where you want to watch it unfold, but yeah, I'm really interested to read more Sylvia Plath, and I thought the ending was really like, huh, I'm thinking about it still, so good job. The one little complaint I have is, and this is just the biology teacher in me, I was a little off put by the cold stairwell and all that frozen, you know, place the train was going through, and then she started talking about the snakes and the lizards, and I'm like, no, not the reptiles in the cold, no. But anyway, other than that, I really enjoyed it. Curious to hear what you think.
Hey Doris, well, it looks like spring has sprung there too. You've got some great foliage, is that the right word? cherry blossoms here have not yet fallen, so any day now. I'm glad that you liked this. I didn't hate it. It was a 3-star read for me, but I didn't like the ending at all. I thought it was just like too dreamlike for me. It wasn't a literal dream, but it read like a dream, and like you said, I'm not going to say much about the ending of the story because people can read it for themselves, but I think fiction is already a dream. I hate dreams in my fiction, and like I say, this wasn't a literal dream, but it was too dreamlike for my tastes. So I didn't care about anything at the ending, and I thought it, dare I say, went off the rails. But I'm glad you liked it. That's all.